Àbọrú, àbọyè, àbọṣíṣẹ. I am Olóyè, Ìyánífá, Ifáṣèyí, Bamgbàlà, Olátúnjí-Arẹ, and I am a Yoruba West African Ifá-Òrìṣà priest. I'm also a professor of traditional African culture and spirituality, as well as a psychologist. And I want to speak with you all today, my Awofa and Omo Awo enrolled in Academy, and for any students I may have in the world who might be watching or hearing this video who are not officially enrolled in the Academy for Ifá-Òrìṣà Education, Development, and Training. I would like to speak with you all today about Òrìṣà O. The Òrìṣà, or the deity, the Yoruba West African spirit of herbs, leaves, and herbal medicines. Some of you are highly interested in this topic because it's dealing with nature, it's dealing with the plants, it's dealing with healing through the herbs, healing through the gifts and the treasures of our Mother Earth, Earth Home, Ile-Ayé. Òrìṣà Osonye is a very, very special Òrìṣà in the Ifá-Òrìṣà Yoruba West African pantheon. And Òrìṣà Osonye is brother as well to Ọ̀rúnmìlà. He is a Babalawo and he received his training from Ọ̀rúnmìlà. So Òrìṣà Osonye is an apprentice of Ọ̀rúnmìlà. And in Odufa, the Odu Ogbeti speaks about it. It talks about how Òrìṣà Osonye and Baba Ọ̀rúnmìlà took off on a journey to study more about the mysteries of Ifá, and it speaks as well about Òrìṣà Osonye coming back to the planet before Ọ̀rúnmìlà came back to the planet and set up his own kingdom. There was a test upon Ọ̀rúnmìlà's return to planet Earth on whether it was Odufa or whether it was chants and charms alone that could be most efficacious in bringing about positive change in the world. The conclusion of that test, or contest if you will, was that although herbs are very powerful, very medicinal, very magical on their own, it is Odufa, the word of Olódùmarè through the Ifá oracle, that possesses and that contains the highest degree of ashe to bring about positive change in our world. However, the two in combination are a most powerful and mighty force. So it will be in our best interest to become apprentices and humble students of both Ewe Ifá as well as long-term study and practice to Odu Ifá. Àbọrú, àbọyè, àbọṣíṣẹ. Okay, Ebofa Lilu. Ebofa Oyemi Lilu Mioma.
Lilu. That means Ebofa. Lilu is using. That they are using.
Okay. Eshego. So Omo Awo, Ati Awofa especially because the Omo Awo have seen some parts of this process already.
Okay.
So this is for the Awofa who have never been here, just to get a glimpse of the making, one part of the process of the making of y'all's akoshe. So there's different kinds of akoshe fa, so many for so many different purposes, so many different functions. If you will recall from the workshop that you all attended, I think it was about maybe about a 6-hour workshop that you all attended at the start of your academy sphere. We talked about akoshe fa, and we talked about some of the functions, some of the mediums as well, the different mediums akoshe can come in, or forms that akoshe fa can come in. And if you all recall, you all were taught about a powdered form, a black powdered form. This is the black powdered form. In this pot right here, there is any number of ingredients that could have gone into this pot to be
burned down into this black ash or black powder that you see here. And so it's not just that. I'm deliberately and intentionally not saying too much, because some of the information about, you know, how a crochet is made is sacred. It's sacred information, and so you don't, you know, tell the whole wide world exactly how it's done or exactly what goes into it or all the processes of making it. But for my academy students and my Ifá-Òrìṣà academy students, you will get to learn that at some point in your curriculum. Because Ewe-Fa, Akoshe-Fa is so sacred and also so very powerful, I really don't teach it until the end of the curriculum. And I have even debated on whether I should take it out of the curriculum altogether and just leave that for the people who actually come and get initiated into Ifá, that they don't learn this until after Ite-Fa, until after Ifá initiation. Some of you will have graduated from the level 1 academy prior to your initiation, and the way it's going now, several of you are being initiated before the end of your academy sphere. It would do you well, anybody who's watching this and plans on applying for enrollment in the academy, it would do you well to not have a crooked mindset of, oh, I just want to go through the academy just so I can get initiated into Ifá through the academy, and then, you know, dip out or withdraw from academy. That would be a very big mistake, because the academy is where you're going to learn how to. It's where you're going to learn your philosophies, where you're going to learn your history. It's where you're going to learn, you know, cultural etiquette. It's where you're going to learn language. It's where you're going to learn a lot of things that you won't get to learn during your Ite-Fa because of the rigor and the long process and high demand for attention that is involved with the Ite-Fa process. You really won't be able to do any of these things right here. These things right here you don't really get to be a part of until subsequent trips, you know, to Nigeria for your on-the-ground training in Africa. Of course, you have on-the-ground training in the United States as well, but it's different, and you'll see that the on-the-ground training in America, it does something very, very, very special for you, you know, prior to you actually coming here. So I'll go back to Akoshe-Fa. It's a very delicate process, as you'll see. Amoluo Babalawo here is, you know, an expert, actually. He's an expert. He knows exactly what he's doing. He has so much knowledge of a variety. And when I say a variety, I mean hundreds upon hundreds of herbs of Ewe-Fa. This man is a born bushman. You know, he has a lot of knowledge about the plants, about the seasonal changes of the plants. He has a lot of knowledge about the changes, the phases that plants go through. And it's amazing to watch him work, because he does it so effortlessly, and he's very fast. And so we go to him for things like this, but he's also under the leadership as well, and under the instruction of a more masterful Babalawo, and that would be Oluo, who does the Idafa, who gives him the instructions that he needs, you know, to make the Akoshe-Fa. You know, Omoawo here, he doesn't know, you know, what to make or what Odu is calling for a certain thing until Oluo tells him. And so it's a system of interdependence. We all depend on each other. You cannot practice Ifá, you know, and operate, you know, an Ifá service to the community effectively without a team, without a reliable, knowledgeable, and competent team, and a humble team too. And so that also is part of the emphasis, why I put so much emphasis on Iwapele, and why I put so much emphasis on discipline, patience, and long-term commitment to apprenticeship. A lot of us Americans, people born in America, we want to try to learn Ifá overnight. We want to go online and try to botch some rituals together. You know, we read some stuff about, you know, egungun, medicine, or ori, and we're trying to do it just from watching a video on the internet or on YouTube. That's not real apprenticeship, because you still are missing parts and pieces of it. A real practitioner, real Babalawo, real Ìyánífá, they're not going to put everything they're doing on YouTube. They're not going to put everything they're doing on the internet. There's some things that you need to learn by being an apprentice. And even by being an apprentice for 1 year, you're still not going to learn everything. That's a long-term commitment. You're nodding your head, Mr. Bodie. Why?
I support what you're saying.
Yeah, he knows too. Mr. Bodie's also a Moifa. And him and Omo Oluo are very fun to watch. Fun to watch. A very good brotherhood. So, you know, you have to be committed long term. You know, you're not going to learn everything. There's a lane for each person. Each person cannot learn everything in Ifa. That is impossible. This tradition, the potency, the magic, the, you know, skill, the medicinal value of it is so expansive. There's so many areas that one could branch off into, but the best way to do that is by divine guidance. You let Ifa guide you through Idafa. You let Ifa guide you through your Itefa and tell you which direction you need to go in. That is in highest alignment with the destiny that you came to the planet to live this time around. You don't go and be like, you know, well, Ifa said this, but I'm just going to do my own thing anyway. That's how you're going to get thrown off course and run into calamity, run into wahala, you know, from not being humble to the guidance of Ifa. Ifa knows all, past, present, and future. So in our limited knowledge of the here and now, with maybe with the exception of a few premonitions that we have every now and again, the premonitions are still not totally complete. Premonitions can also still be symbolic. So you need to go and get confirmation and validation through the Ifa Oracle. And that's your Idafa, that's your consultation with your senior priest, so that you can get accurate guidance on what you're seeing in your premonitions, accurate guidance on the direction that's going to be best for you to go in. And if there's something you want to do that Ifa doesn't speak to, there is even a way that we can confirm and validate that. And so we're very, very open to helping you get what it is your heart most desires, but we are not open to helping you get it if it means acting in contradiction or if it means going against the guidance of Ifa, because senior priests know better than that. We've learned through our own personal experiences and stop playing around with Ifa, you know? So, of course, we want to help you avoid making some of those same mistakes. Anyway, you know, the stone that he's using is a grinding stone. Many of you have seen that. Oftentimes, grinding stones are used so frequently that they're, you know, tends to develop a flat area of the grinding stone, or even perhaps a slight dip in the grinding stone, because it's used so much for that purpose. This round stone that he's using here wasn't always round like that. That stone became round like that over years and years and years and years of him using it as, you know, a grinder for the Akoshefa. So I saw this little tin strainer. I saw it out in the temple, and I knew that he was back here making Akoshefa. So I quickly went and got my phone to come and get some parts of it. I don't want to make the video too long because he's going to be doing this process over and over and over and over again for quite some time. But I did want you all to see this much of it, and I really hope that it's been helpful. Again, deliberately not saying too much about the process of Akoshefa or giving too much of background about it, because I offered that in an actual workshop for my apprentices. And so while I do advocate sharing things with the community and people who are interested in and are currently practicing Ifa for free on my YouTube channel and through complimentary consultation, sometimes people want that, one-time consultation, and also sometimes through my social media, other social media platforms. But as far as the in-depth details of things, I reserve that data for people who have committed to long-term apprenticeship. If you will recall, at the beginning of this video, I said even for those who are in apprenticeship with me in the academy, they don't learn this until the very end of it. I have to see that they have been committed to their character development, to their studies, to their discipline, to their home, community, and family humanitarian services. I have to see that they're committed to their own personal edification, their healing of any past traumas. I have to see that they are devoted to their own personal independent research in Ifa. I have to see that they're committed to consulting with me regularly for help, support, guidance, and troubleshooting of things that might come up in their lives. And so apprenticeship is holistic. It's not just about teaching you some rituals and it's linear. It's very, very non-linear. and it is a long-term relationship, and the senior priests who are guiding the younger Awofa or Amoawo are to be, already it should be an attitude of long-term investment and long-term commitment to the tutelage and to the development, of each Awofa or each Amoawo, and that should be reciprocal. There should be reciprocal commitment, reciprocal investment. You all don't get to exploit, take advantage of, and misuse the senior priests. You don't get to do that. We are very, very sacred people because of the commitment and the oaths we've taken with God and all the Irumole, as well as to our own Ori. And so while we are not supposed to be abusing, mistreating, exploiting, or taking you all for granted, you are also not supposed to be doing that to your senior priests. And so that goes both ways. Àbọrú, àbọyè, àbọṣíṣẹ, and we pray that you all remain. We pray that you all remain very, very well. And for those of you who are interested in Ifá, learning Ifá for real, and not playing no games, come my way, you'll see. And we also are praying for your own personal health, your longevity of life. We pray for the world when we do our work, but especially our students, our Omawo and our Awofa. We pray for your longevity of life. We pray for your true, genuine inner peace, joy, and happiness. We also pray for your productivity, the healing of all generational traumas and generational curses. We also pray that you be edified in all things that you endeavor to accomplish in this lifetime. In the name of Orumila, Bara, Agboni Rego, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe Olodumare.